I'll start your reading right now for Sagittarius. So the first card you have for your past is the Seven of Swords. So yeah, obviously this is a really dramatic, really negative card. I'm not seeing one big thing here. I'm actually seeing a lot of small incidents, a lot of little cuts, with these little swords, or I shouldn't say little swords, with all these swords. So I think someone was really sort of leading you to believe a certain thing, or leading you to believe something. And I think it might have been something like, I think this might have been someone who you were in a relationship with, and you might still be in this relationship actually. You might not be, but I'm getting, that this is quite present. And I think they led you to believe that you had some kind of a solid future with them, and they promised things and whatever. You believed all of that was going to happen. And I think as time went on, maybe there were a lot of little things in the way, kind of blocks in the way and delays and everything like that. And I think after a while, you just realized that some of these things were probably just excuses. I'm just getting this really frustrating feeling of delaying and not yet and not quite now, and I can't do this because of this, and all of that kind of thing. And I think these swords, all these little cuts don't represent words. Often swords to me represent words, but I think in this case, I think they represent non-action, not moving forward with things, not doing what they were saying they were going to do. And I think whoever this was showing you they weren't serious by the things they weren't doing. And I think each time you were shown that, it felt like another cut, more pain for you. So I don't know, again, I don't know if you're still around this person. I have a feeling you might be, you might not be, but if you are, there's a sunrise on this card. So, this is showing you can move on from this. You can move on to better things. And it's also showing me that you might, at the moment, you might still be stuck in all of this, wondering, should I stay? Should I go? And the sunrise is showing you that this is all going to come to light. You're probably going to realize this, and you are going to be able to move on from this, and it will be better when you do. So I think that's kind of what this is telling you. The strange thing is, I think, is that I think they might have made some kind of a big promise to you. I'm seeing them offering to step up to something, some kind of big responsibility. And I think, that was their words. Their words were saying one thing, but their actions were really saying another thing. And I think that's what each sword on this card represents. I think each one of their actions, or inactions, I should say, and each one of these inactions showed you that they weren't the person who they promised that they were to you, or they were showing you that they weren't that person. And there are promises, there are broken promises here. I'm seeing that very clearly here. So the next card you have for your past is the King of Pentacles. So, I think when it comes to your work, I think, things have been growing for you. I think you've had a lot of setbacks around work, especially over the last year and a half. Maybe you've had some job losses, or just a lot of problems in the work area. But I think this latest job or position, or whatever this is that you're at, has been going, it's been going quite well for you, actually. And I think, in the past you had quite a few kind of financial ups and downs. I think for some reason your money would go up really quickly, and then it would fall back down really quickly. So maybe you had a job where you were on commissions or something like that, or sales, and they'd go up, down, or maybe you had contract work, or you're working for yourself or something like that, where the money just went up and down. It was kind of irregular. But where you are now, I think, the progression's slower, but it's more stable. So, you can plan things a lot easier. Your savings are a lot more regular. That's what I'm seeing there. So it's kind of slow and steady. It might be a bit boring compared to the way things used to be for you, but I think this is what you need at this time, especially because you have instability in other areas of your life. So especially in your love life, if this is resonating. So stick with this for a while. even if it's not what you ultimately want to do, because this is stabilizing, and I can see your savings building up as well. And obviously, you know, if you do want to move on from this, that will give you more flexibility for whatever you want to do in the future. I am seeing some kind of business, maybe some kind of business venture that might be coming up for you. I think you might be thinking about this. You might already be talking about this with people, kind of working it through in your head maybe. So when this comes up for you in the future, if you do stick with this stable thing, you are going to have more savings, and you might need capital for that as well. So, you know, if this resonates again, definitely stay where you are, at least for a while. So the last card you have for your past is the Sun. So here we are. Yeah. I also think I saw this in your last reading, actually, this card. Maybe it was in your last reading, because it's kind of, I can remember seeing this Sun's face. So, yeah. I think, yeah, there are mixed things in this. There's a lot of mixed up things in this card. The first thing I'm seeing here is that something or someone, I think it is someone who means everything to you. I think this might be a person, it might be a child because of the child on this card, or it might be someone or something that needs some kind of care. There's some vulnerability around this person or whatever this is. So I think you absolutely love this person or whatever this is. I keep on seeing this as a child. It doesn't have to be. But whoever this is what this person in the Ten of Swords made this promise about, I think. This was the big promise. This is a responsibility that you have, and it's a responsibility that you love having, but it's a heavy responsibility. And I think you relied on this promise happening, and it didn't happen for you. So that was a great big letdown for you. And I think all these other little promises or inactions were bad enough. You know, you're unhappy about them, but it was this big thing, this big promise that might have been the thing that brought everything to light for you. You kind of realized what was really happening here. It was like, okay, they're going back on this, so everything else is suddenly coming to light. It's clear to me now that this is not what I thought it was, because the Sun can be about bringing things to light. You know, it can be a beautiful, positive card, but it's also a really complex card. I mean, at the moment, when I'm looking at this Sun, I don't know if it looks like this to you, but when I'm looking at it, the Sun looks quite stern. It looks like it's quite serious. But, you know, sometimes when it's in a more positive, when I have more positive cards and a more positive thing I'm seeing around it, it can look quite happy but wise, you know, kind of a kind, wise look it has sometimes, but in this I'm seeing it's looking quite stern. So yeah, so anyway, that's what I'm seeing. It changes. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, when I look at these cards, things change depending on what else I'm seeing around it and what else I'm feeling is going on around it. So it's interesting. I just want to show you that. So anyway, I think this Sun is a realization, and this is what that sunrise was leading you to in this Ten of Swords. It's leading you to this realization, leading you to this Sun. That's what I'm seeing. So I know I'm going on. I hope this makes sense. I'm going off on a crazy tangent. So the first card you have your present is the Ace of Cups. So yeah, this is the emotional card, super emotional. So I think, you know, you do have a big choice to make. You might have already made this choice, but I don't think you have. I think you're still kind of in the middle of this, maybe, because there's a lot of heaviness around this, and I think there are a lot of messages to you kind of trying to help you to make this choice. So I don't think you've made this yet, and it's a choice about whether to carry on with this person or whether to go off on your own. So obviously, whichever choice you make, there's a lot of emotion either way and a lot of sadness either way. But you know, if this is all resonating with you and you haven't made this choice yet, you know, I think you've tried to stay where you are. You've tried to work with all of this, and it's left you in this position where a lot of things were really upsetting you, and then there was this one great big thing that you needed help with, and it was promised to you, and it wasn't fulfilled. So I don't want to tell you what to do, but how many more promises are going to be broken? How many more things are they going to disappoint you on? I'm not saying everyone should be perfect all the time, but this was a big thing. This was a big promise, and it was huge, and it meant everything to you, and they knew it meant everything to you. So if someone knows that something's extremely important to you, it means everything to you, and they promise and then they let you down, what does that say? That really says all there needs to be said about this, really. So this is another message to you, I think, showing you that, and it's trying to guide you out of this emotionally heavy state where you can't really see what you're supposed to be doing. And I think this card's supposed to be guiding you out of that and showing you where you need to go. That's what I think there. So the next card you have your present is the Knight of Pentacles. So I think at this time your work might actually be a place of refuge for you. It's kind of the stable thing that's happening where this other stability is around you. And it's not that this person's hurting you outright or abusing you. They are hurting you a lot with that promise. But I think, I don't mean to use violent language, but this is kind of like, a death by 1,000 tiny cuts. If you look at this Ten of Swords again, this is hurt by not doing things, by not showing you things, by not helping you with things, by kind of promising things and not delivering them. So if this is a really a difficult decision for you to make, and I think it is, and I can see why it is, and I can see that now in this card, because this is the slow card, and I think these little things, these little inactions that happened over a long time happened very, very slowly to you. So it's kind of like they've caught up with you over time, and you had a long time with this person. And I think, when you're going along feeling one way and you do have feelings for them, you can't just turn that off, especially if you've been with them for a long time. But, look at how strong this horse is. I know it's slow, but look at how strong it is. This is a workhorse. It's a determined horse. It's slow, but it has stamina. It doesn't give up. And because I'm seeing this job in this card as well, and this slow kind of stability, this saving money, this building up, and this, all this stability with this job. I know I'm repeating myself, but for some reason I keep on picking up on you being at this crossroads with this decision, and you're not sure kind of which decision to make at this time. So it might be that you have to stay where you are for a while out of necessity with this person. You might have to stay and save your money for a while before you can move on. It might be that. So if that's the case, so focus on that. Do that. Be determined like this horse. Try to stay as strong as you can while you're going through this, and just keep on building everything up for yourself until you're ready to move. So that might be what's stopping you, because something's stopping you either from making a decision or from moving away from them. So it might be your money situation that's doing that. I don't know. So the last card you have your present is the Lovers. So yeah, again, this card can also be about choices in love. I think there was a lot of passion at the start of this relationship. Maybe there still is. That might be one of the reasons why this decision's so difficult for you. I hope this is going to make sense, but I think this person's attention, not their passion, but their attention might be on something else or in another place at this time. I'm not seeing a third party, but something or someone has their attention away from you. So there's that as well. Another thing I'm seeing here is that if you want to find someone to talk to about this, all of this, this decision and everything like that, please do that. Please find someone to talk to, but be careful about who you choose to talk to, who you choose to open up to. I think there might be some members of your family who might have a tendency to overreact in some way. So what I'm seeing is it's fine to talk to them if you find the right person to talk to, but if you talk to some members of your family about this, about your problems, about this person, they might get angry, they might confront them. And I think this is a very precarious position you're in. You know, you want to keep a lid on things at this time. You're kind of just working out what you want to do. So you want to keep any drama at an all-time low at this time. So be very careful who you choose to share things with, who you choose to talk to. That's the other thing I'm seeing in this card. There are a lot of choices, and that's what this card can be about. So the first card you have for your future is the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, again, everything in this reading showing me this, saving your money to bring you or to get you out of a bad situation and into a better one. That's what you need to do. And probably in your love situation, you're going to have to save, build yourself up to get yourself into a better position. Definitely in your workplace, you're having to do that too, so that you have more flexibility and you can move into this business or a different job situation. So yeah, I'm seeing children or family in this as well, and I'm seeing your responsibility here, that big responsibility. And again, this is showing me that you couldn't rely on this person, you still can't. So you're going to have to rely on yourself. That's all over this reading. So there are all these signs everywhere. If you haven't made this decision, again, I don't want to keep on telling you what to do. I don't want to do that at all, but everything's pointing toward getting out of this and going out on your own. That's what I'm seeing here. I'm also seeing here that you might get an extra boost to your savings as well, which is going to be fantastic. This is exactly what you need. I think there's an extra sum of money coming into you. I think this is something you might have been expecting for a while. And but there's been a lot of delays around this coming to you. There's a lot of waiting and delays in this reading, and I think this is showing you that it's coming in for you soon, very, very soon. And if it comes in for you at this time, it's going to be perfect timing, because this is what you need to move on. You're going to need as much money as you can, as many savings as you can, to help you to move forward. So I really, really hope this resonates, and I hope this is going to come in soon for you, because if it does, it's perfect timing, absolutely perfect. So the next card you have for your future is Temperance. So yeah, I think this was in your last reading as well, and I think it might have been in a few of your readings. There is someone else around your energy. There's someone who is thinking about you, someone from your past, someone who misses you. I'm seeing that again in here. You have a connection with this person. They have a link to you, a very strong link. They were definitely a love connection at one time, and I think they would be happy to revisit this connection with you at some point in the future. And this person is connected to your family in some way as well, so they might be friends with some of your family members. Now, obviously, this would be a really horrible time to try to revisit this while you're still going through this, all of this confusion. But there is a possibility of a connection with them in the future. I'm definitely seeing that. Now, there's a bit of a warning in this. I'd be careful of seeing this person as a friend, especially while you're still around this other relationship. They might come back into your life as a friend, but I don't think they'll ever just be a friend. There's always going to be feelings there. There's always going to be more than friends there around this person. So if you're going to connect with them again, you are going to have to be very, very careful that you're out of this other situation. There's a lot of potential mess here, and you want to avoid that. So I think if they come in as a friend, you might have to say, look, I've got a lot going on. I would like to connect with you at some time in the future, I think, if that's what you'd like to do. But at the moment, I've got a huge, messy situation. I really need to sort that out. And I've got the feeling that they would understand that. So keep that in mind if this person does come back in again, and I have the feeling they will. So the last card you have for your future is the Eight of Swords. Yeah. So again, this is showing me again that you're stuck. You're still stuck making this decision. You don't know where to go. You don't know whether to go forwards. You don't know whether to go backwards. You have all these swords around you, swirling around in your head. And these are these swords I was seeing in the Ten of Swords. All of these little cuts, all these things this person's done to you, all the times they've hurt you. They're probably going around and around you in your head everywhere, because these swords are surrounding this poor woman. So if this is how you are, if this is all resonating with you still, and you're still kind of troubled by this, you don't know what to do, get some time away. Move away from this person for a while. If you can't permanently, go and stay with a friend, go and stay with a relative, or just get a day out with them, go and talk to them. Get some space in your head and get all of this out of your head. Make your head as clear as you possibly can to help you to pick yourself up, save your money, get as much as you can, and move out of this. That's what I'm seeing. Get space in your head. Get yourself back. You haven't been yourself for a long time around this person, and you need to get that back again. So that's what that card's telling me.